Yeah, and breaking the generational patterns is the goal of so many of Rising Beyond's members. And so this is going to help you break those generational patterns.
Yeah.
So we talked about attunement and co-regulation, but I think what would you say, what would be your definition of attachment-based parenting or connection-based parenting? Because that is where these two other concepts really come from.
Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, if you just Google those words, Google will have a whole slew of things, and people will define them in all sorts of different ways. I really love the way that Circle of Security International talks about connection-based parenting or attachment-based parenting. It's basically parenting from attachment theory, or this idea that we're wired to connect with each other. And that kids will use their caregivers or parents to feel both safe, secure, seen, and soothed. Those are Dr. Siegel's words. So connection-based parenting is raising kids that feel safe, seen, secure, and soothed with compassionate boundaries. So sometimes people hear attachment parenting and they're like, oh, that's really permissive. What do you mean I can't spank my kid? Or why are timeouts this big? You know, there's a lot of rigidity in the parenting info world. But the truth is, we're just looking for compassionate boundaries. Connection-based parenting is not permissive, but it's also not a dictatorship. So it's somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, and I think that middle, because you know, victims of domestic violence and narcissistic abuse, one of the main criticisms, or where the abuse comes in, is criticizing how they're parenting.
Yeah.
So they are creating weak kids, or they're letting their kids walk all over them.
Right.
Or they'll go the opposite way of being really harsh because they want calm. So they're being really harsh to set that really strict boundary for safety from the other parent. So yeah, we want to go that middle route, find that middle space.
And once you're safe, like I think that, and I'm sure there's other courses that talk about this, like that radical self-compassion, whatever you needed to do as a parent and a partner to survive, that makes sense. And now if you're safe, like there's this other new way. And I would love to talk about repair, because that's a big piece. The relational neurosciences proves what we're talking about with connection, attunement, co-regulation. It also proves that we're going to rupture with our kids and we get to repair. And that's like the most hopeful part, I think.
Absolutely. And I wrote a note because if it's not actually going to happen.
Yes, me too.
Because I do think that is so helpful. And I want this information to be hopeful for our parents and our members, because you know, if we really focus on that, they will be affected forever.
Right.
It will be a part of their history, but will it all, you know, will it continue these negative effects?
Right.
Not always.
No, doesn't have to.
And so let's dig into that. So the first, I guess, item of business is, what is the idea of attunement? If you hear that, like you need to attune to your child, what does that encompass?
I think about it like getting in rhythm. Like get in rhythm. If you use nervous system language, sometimes that resonates. Like we're going to check out like what's their brain and body and nervous system doing? How are they emotionally? So paying attention to these little cues of their experience and getting in sync with your child. So attuning, the fancy word is called mentalization, like understanding our kids are having a thought and feeling and an experience that's different than ours. So that sounds simple. It's really hard to remember that when we're frustrated, like just get in the damn car and the kids like dragging themselves, right? It's like, oh, I can be attuned. Transitions are hard. You're having a hard time right now, buddy. You don't like being rushed, or you don't want to do this, right? Their experience is different than mine, but I can meet them and attune to them, get in sync or in rhythm with their thought and feelings. So then we can give some direction to help them complete a task. But first we have to connect with them or attune.